those tremendous cookies in the back there. If you haven't had one yet, hopefully there's some left. Sign-up sheets. I don't know if you're interested and you want to have somebody follow up with you to discuss your house and see if it makes sense to do solar. There were sign-up sheets. You may have met people on the way in. If you didn't get a chance to do that, there'll be some circulated throughout the night, or stop at the table on the way out and sign up.
You could just go like that.
There's also pamphlets. And, you could contact representative from BeFree down the road if you'd like.
No, there's no.
I'd like to thank Sepia, but they're the ones behind sponsoring the Solarize Connecticut program. This is the fourth round. It's been going on for a couple of years now. I think over 30 towns have gone through it. And it's just a great program, which you're going to hear more about tonight from various people. And lastly, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what the agenda is going to entail. Once I shut up, you will hear from a couple of first select people. Kathy Eno and Melissa Schlag. We have a state rep here, Bill Miller, 36th District. Senator Ed Meyer will be speaking for a few minutes, and then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of how the program works, presented by Bob Wall and Aaron O'Sullivan from Sepia. And then BeFree Solar will take the stage. They'll take you through a presentation of a lot of the finer points, and then we'll open things up for questions and answers. And I think that's pretty much going to be it.
These aren't as good as
And everybody will be ready to go home. So thanks for coming, and take some notes.
Hi, everybody. This is probably one of the most exciting things that we've done in Haddam so far. To see all of you here is amazing, actually. I expected 20 people to be slumping in and making it look like the room is big. But this is really, really amazing. I can't have solar in my house, so I'm living vicariously through you guys. When Kathy and I talked about this in the beginning, and I had gotten the information in the mail, among all other many millions of pieces of mail, my first 2 weeks in office, I said, what the heck is this? So I called Kathy, and we sat down for lunch, and we talked about this, and she said, why don't we do this together? And I said, good idea. So I have to thank Kathy for all the work she's done, and they have an energy task force in Killingworth that is amazing, too. And we really thank Killingworth. And we've started our own solar task force, our energy task force. And many of those people are here today. Thank you. Mary Ann and Mark. And I do want to throw a shout out to Howard Theory, our superintendent even came down. Because one day we'll want solar on our schools. So, when Kathy and I did talk about that with him when we were in our solar mood. Well, and I also want to thank Sepia, because you guys have been also indisposable and have helped us through this, and also BeFree, making it so easy to be free. So here is Kathy Eno, First Selectman of Killingworth. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all for coming. And thanks again to Sepia, and thanks especially to our energy task forces and to Jeff Cook, who really did the legwork to bring Solarize to our county. I won't say a lot either, because you want to hear some real information, but I want to say one word, and that's opportunity. Solarize Haddam Killingworth is an opportunity for everyone who's upset about paying these sky-high energy prices to look at an alternative. When we were looking into Solarize, I learned that although Connecticut by no means has the most sun in the country, it is the second only to Hawaii in the shortness of the payback period for solar, because our energy prices are so high. And just this week, CLMP put in for another 6% increase. So I don't think it's going to get better unless we go solar. It's an opportunity for everyone who would like to find more sustainable and clean sources of energy. Energy from fossil fuels might seem cheap, but that's because we're really pushing the costs off on future generations. costs of climate change, the costs of dirty water, dirty air, and really not such future generations. I think we just learned that as well, that if the future is now, and we're already feeling the effects. So it's an opportunity there. And it's an opportunity for all of us who are too busy to sort through all the intricacies of going solar and making the decision. It's an example of how neighbors help neighbors. That's the Haddam Killingworth tradition. And by doing this together, we can share information, share knowledge, share experiences, and bring the price down for everybody. So I'm really excited about this opportunity for all of us, and I'm looking forward to hearing about the details. Thank you all. Phil Miller is the state rep for Haddam, but not
Good evening. Just want to tell you that producing clean energy here in Connecticut is no longer a plan of the future. It's happening, and we're really doing a lot of it. We have no fewer than 8 companies in Connecticut, Connecticut-based companies, creating fuel cells. Some of you perhaps have seen some in use, like the one at the Middletown High School. All over Connecticut, solar arrays are going up, and as we produce more clean energy and more energy period, it is excellent for us because it allows us to take the old coal-burning plants that are very inefficient and that pollute quite a bit and put them offline for good. So we're hoping that you'll find some good opportunities that are presented to you tonight, and that hopefully you'll see a lot more roof arrays and others right here locally, which would be great. So thank you so much for coming, and hope you have enjoyed the presentation tonight. Senator Meyer's not here, but I'll introduce Bob Wall.
Thank you, Phil. I'll introduce my colleague Aaron O'Sullivan from Smart Power. We're going to give a brief overview of the program before turning it over to the installer. But I wanted to describe my trip over here tonight. I grew up in Middletown and spent a lot of time in Haddam, and so I decided to come down Bartholomew Road to see the Hickam Reservoir where I used to swim, and it gives me a real warm, fuzzy feeling. And as I came around the corner, I started to see all these signs for Solarize HK, which also gave me a warm, fuzzy feeling. Because I don't see that many signs. And then when I got to the parking lot here, I couldn't believe all the cars. I asked, is it a night baseball game? No, it's an elementary school. Probably not. So I wanted to thank you all for coming out, taking your time to learn about this exciting program. And your reward for that is, after that long preamble, I'm going to try to abridge my remarks so we can get to the main event. We came up with a motto for the Solarize campaign, which is solar is simple together. Thank you for advancing the slides. As the prior speakers and first selectmen have indicated, solar works incredibly well here in Connecticut. We have been tasked by the state General Assembly to support 30 megawatts of solar by the year 2022. We are already at 25 megawatts, and that's only about 2 years since you ordered us to do that. So with your help, we could go over the top by the end of this year, and I think we are going to do that. The simple part of the Solarize equation is we remove a lot of the mystery about going solar. There are many different installers offering different equipment and different types of setups and at all different prices. And through this program, your towns have selected a high-quality installer that, unlike a lot of their competitors, offer a really solid base package. They do have some options, which they'll explain, but just for the base package, you can be assured that you're going to get an outstanding solar PV system and components. The together part really begins here. We've been blessed to have not one but 2 great towns to work with a lot of enthusiasm among the volunteer task forces. And the name of this game is to spread the Solarize campaign by word of mouth. So tell your friends, neighbors, coworkers, parishioners, etc., that this incredible opportunity exists. You can just tell them that there's never been a better time to go solar. Essentially, we're going to run a 20-week campaign that begins tonight, and Aaron will tell you the magic end date in a little while. But you can take comfort in the fact that this is a state-sponsored, CEFIA is a quasi-public authority. We used to be the Connecticut Clean Energy Fund, currently known as CEFIA by short, and soon we will be officially known as the Connecticut Green Bank. But it's all been one organization supporting the growth of clean energy in Connecticut. And it's endorsed by both of your towns. So that is very important to you as consumers. We're going to use a concentrated education and outreach campaign. We'll have a number of follow-up events over the next 20 weeks so that more and more people can learn about the program. And as you do, we think you're going to be taken in by the incredible opportunity here, which is to save approximately 20% or more off the going rate of solar. So whether you want to lower your monthly electric bill, prevent against those rate hikes that Kathy talked about, which are going to come again and again and again, it's going to provide you those wonderful economic opportunities, not to mention the environmental benefits we have of producing clean, green energy. And I should mention that the reason we're able to offer the discounts, or I should say BeFree Solar is able to offer those discounts, is because of the word-of-mouth campaign. They are saving money that they would otherwise be spending on their marketing. So in turn, they're passing the savings on to you, which can be quite substantial. So just a few more words about CEFIA's role. We developed the program and helped to administer it along with our partner Smart Power. We provide incentives whether you want to purchase your system or lease it, and there are a lot of exciting options. And to help support that, CEFIA has developed a number of financing products. We have several loan products, and I see we have Eastern Savings Bank over under the tree in the back. They are one of our partners for the Smarty loan, which is really fascinating, so you should please talk to them afterwards about the different ways you can use the Smarty loan to support solar and the exciting discount opportunities that are coming through that loan. We also have the Connecticut Solar Loan, which is another way you can purchase the system and get a great return on your investment. And we have the Connecticut Solar Lease, which allows you to get solar for no money down and start saving money immediately on your electric bills. We also provide some quality control on the back end. Every system is going to be inspected by your respective building departments, as well as CLNP and finally CEFIA, to make sure that you've got what you paid for and that it's installed and working properly. So now I'd like to reintroduce my friend Erin here to talk a little bit more about the campaign.
Hello. My name is Erin O'Sullivan. I'm with Smart Power, which is a nonprofit that focuses on clean energy and energy efficiency. And we have a couple of big roles up here, but honestly the biggest one is making the job of our volunteers as easy as possible. And I know that they're all identified already wearing shirts, but if I could get them to raise their hands quickly, or not, there we go. All right, so these are the folks who really make this campaign work. They've reached out to you, you've heard about this through your garden club, through the churches, through jar signs and flyers, and they've really been the ones to make this happen. And we do support them with materials like the yard signs, like the banners, but it's also through tracking what's going on in other towns so we can share best practices. Although, to be honest, after tonight's turnout, I'm going to be sharing a lot of your best practices with other towns. So thank you for giving to the Solarize program. Something that may also impact you more directly is we run surveys. So if you get a call from a Yale student after the program has ended, asking you about your experience, please give them a moment, just because we want to make sure that the program going forward is as effective and streamlined as possible. Probably the biggest tool that we have for you in the Solarize program is our website, and it's going to be at the bottom of all of your materials as well. But if you go to www.solarizect.com/ either Haddam or Killingworth or HK, any of those will get you to that website where you can find out more about our upcoming events, our outreach materials, testimonials from people in your towns who have already gone solar, as well as photos of their homes. But probably most importantly is that blue button on there, the request a solar home survey or a free site visit. And that's what you would push if you wanted to have BeFree come over to your home and talk to you a little bit more about your particular solar installation. So I know I talked about our solar ambassadors a little already, but I'm actually curious to hear a little bit from you just for a moment. Would you mind raising your hands if you heard about this event through a yard sign? All right. How about a newsletter? done all of those things. They made all of those things happen. And if you're interested in joining this brigade, please see me or anyone with a blue shirt or a blue button sometime after the presentation tonight. So BeFree Solar wasn't chosen randomly for your town. They were selected through a very competitive bidding process. There were about 10 other companies vying for your town's business, but BeFree was really the one that rose as a great a fit for your town based on pricing, equipment, and customer service. And it was chosen after, again, a very competitive bidding process. And then we brought in representatives from the town, a task force to look through all the proposals with a fine-tooth comb with someone at Sepia. And then they followed up again with interviews, and after a very lengthy interview process, BeFree was the one that got paired with your town. And they've obviously done a very good job. I hope you continue to enjoy working with them. So this is this very important number that Bob mentioned earlier. You must sign up for Solarize before October 7th in order to really lock down that pricing. We have a 8.5 by 11-inch flyer floating around here that has all the pricing on it, and you can see an average home would expect to pay for an average system. It will be different for each home. Every home is different, and parts will get into we'll get into that later. But we do want to make sure that you have that tool available for you. If you need to reach us, you can find us at this contact information here. But without any further ado, I would like to welcome our main act. Oh, I'm sorry. One more further ado.
We do have a slate teacher, Kathy, would you like to make these?
Sure. Ed Meyer, our Killingworth State Senator, just got here, and I would like to say a couple of words, I think. Ed is, you might have heard, is retiring this year. He's been an environmental leader in the state legislature, and we're really proud to have had him for the last 10 years.
Thank you. This is phenomenal. I'm chair, as Kathy said, of the Environment Committee of the General Assembly. I do a lot of environment work with this young man here, Representative Phil Miller. We are, the cost of solar energy systems is down about 50% in the last year. Okay, we're on a roll here. You're looking as though this combination of towns is going to bring about 400 solar customers. That may break a record in Connecticut. The enthusiasm you have here, you're not only going to bring your prices down, but you're going to do something great for the environment. And I can't wait to bring that message back to Hartford. So nice to be with you. Thanks for coming.
Okay, now I think we get to the main event, and that is BeFree Solar, which is going to do a presentation and answer some questions. This is Phil Lubra. He lives in Killingworth. What I'll say while he's getting set up is that what you really want to do is have a one-on-one conversation with BeFree. And they'll come to your house and they'll look at your particular situation and your rooftops and your land, and it will all make a lot more sense after you talk to them.
One more logistical note. In a smaller group, we have people ask questions as they come up throughout the presentation, but I don't think that's going to be feasible at this particular juncture. We will have a Q&A session after the presentation is over, and then after that, you can still go and speak with anyone with a blue shirt if you have any questions. But I would ask you to hold your questions.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. It's a really good turnout, and so my job today is to talk about energy and solar. And hopefully by the end of tonight, you have a better idea how everything works. So we're a local company. We're right in Madison, right near Roberts. And if you ever have any questions, how to contact us up here. By telephone, by email, or you can always just stop by. Some people like to do that. They just like to stop by and have a chat about solar. And we can look at your home and go over any questions you have. So feel free to come by whenever you like. And a little bit about the work that we have done in the past. We've done Solarize Durham, and in Durham we did over 120 homes, which was one of the most successful towns under the Solarize project. The most successful. materials we're giving, and then the low price combined made a lot of people realize that this is the time to install solar and not wait another year or 2 years or 3 years. And we really helped make it very easy for everybody to go solar. And we take care of every single step along the way. Here are some of the events that we're going to be having. We're going to have multiple events throughout the coming months. So if you have friends who are interested and couldn't come tonight, please feel free to tell them that they can come to another event soon. So I want to talk about energy. I want to talk a little bit about the way energy is produced now, and then what we're offering as an alternative to the current energy. So this is a picture of the grid, and the grid is very, very complicated. So you have a power plant, usually a coal or a gas power plant, and then you have miles and miles and miles of power lines. So as you pump up, as the power plant turns on, there's no on-off, it just turns on, it produces a lot of energy, and it goes down the power lines, a lot of the power is wasted. So this is like a 100-year-old technology. A lot of the power plants are powered by coal, and to get coal you have to take apart a mountain, and people have to go in there and try to take the coal out. So this guy who's in the tunnel, it's not a very good job, and we're trying to change that. Another way power plants are powered is by gas, and so the biggest trend in the country today is hydraulic fracking. And what happens is they just pump a lot of chemicals in the ground, and they don't care if it messes up people's water supply. And so they go into a lot of towns, communities, try to get the gas out, and then leave, but forever the water supply is messed up. So that's not a good way to power your grid. And then, there's oil, and oil is in everything. So I was just looking it up today. Oil is in clothes, crayons, toothbrushes, toothpaste, telephone, paint, everything. So we want to change that, right? So we want to get rid of oil. And then there's nuclear. So then the last. So we don't like the idea of explosions and contamination. So we're going to give you an alternative to nuclear. This is the alternative. Alternative is to put solar panels on your home and provide heat through heat pump technology, which uses electricity, and also to drive electric cars. So we've been driving electric car for 2 years, and it really works. Never had to go to the gas station for 2 years. So people are putting enough solar panels on their homes to make electricity. Once you make enough electricity, you can do other things with it. You can do heating, cooling, you can drive a car. And so this is much better. This is a cleaner solution. The sun makes all the power, and once you pay for the solar panels, it's free. So if you live in your home for 30 years, it's free. So the installation of a solar system is very simple. You put panels on your roof. It's connected to your main electrical box where your circuit breakers are, and the energy just goes wherever it wants to. If you're using power in your house, you're using solar power first, and if you're not using any power, it gets pushed out into the street. So you're always connected to the grid. It's just that your meter spins backwards, and you get credit for all the energy that you sell back to the utility company. Okay, so Connecticut does actually have the highest energy prices, and they're going up. So 2 weeks ago in the news, there was a report that CLNP wanted to raise rates by 6% this year. So if you look across the country, we are the highest, and it's been trend for the last 30, 40 years. Energy prices go up by 3 or 4 or 5%, depending on how you look at it. And that means your bills will always keep on going, and we're trying to solve that problem. That's why our company name is BeFree Solar. We're trying to eliminate all of these things about rising electric rates. We want you to be free and live in your home, and if you can make all your power, you will live in your home for free. That's what we're trying to do. This is the inflation rate over the last decade and 2 decades. So you see Connecticut, it's averaging, the rates are averaging about 18 cents a kilowatt hour, and we've had, if you look at the last 30 years, it's a 3.5% inflation rate for the utility. If you look at it 10 years, you're 8 or even 7%. This is really, really high. Doesn't have to be that high. So with a solar system, because you're always connected to the grid, during the daytime when the sun is out, you're selling power back to the utility company, and at nighttime you're buying power from them. This is called net metering. And with a net metering, they're saving your credits in account, kind of like rollover minutes, that you can use in the future. So for example, in the summertime, if you make a lot of power, so in the summer you always make a lot of power, they will save the credits, kilowatt hour credits, that you can draw down even in winter months. So a lot of our customers have electric bills that are just $16 a month. That is the bill just to be a customer. That's what we're trying to produce all of your energy so you don't have to buy any energy. So a lot of people have homes that are east-west, and this shows you that you can put solar on an east roof, on a west roof, and a south roof. And the south roof is the best, but east and west also work. Just can't put solar on a north roof. This is an example of a home we did, and this came out so well that, the Solarize Connecticut people used that picture for the last 2 years in all of the publications. So this is our project. We did this project as a home in Durham. This home also has a battery backup system. That means when the grid goes down, the solar system normally would turn off because you're backfeeding the grid, and the utility company doesn't want someone on the street to get electrocuted when they're working on the lines. So if you are thinking about what happens when the grid goes down, there's an option. You can get a battery backup system, and what happens is the solar system cuts off from the grid, there's an automatic transfer switch built into it, and then it powers back on. So you can live off grid forever because the batteries just keep on getting charged, and you draw them down, they get charged again, sun comes out, they get charged again. This is another home, and I want to show you, we use all black panels, and we use them for a reason. They look much, much better on a home. You could drive by a home that has all black panels, and you might not even notice that there was a solar system on it. So for us, it actually costs more to give you this, but under this program, we're giving everybody all black panels. We're giving everybody a really good inverter technology. This is another home. This is a home in Colchester. It sold, when the homeowner did sell the home, it sold in 1 week, and he had multiple offers. So he actually got more than what he was asking. And even in a bad market, you can see the power of having no bills to live in your home. It makes it very, very attractive for someone who wants to buy a home. There's another home. A lot of happy customers. I can tell you that every solar system we did, customers love it. They're very happy, and we still keep in touch with them, and they tell us all the time that they show us their bills. They tell us how great it is. You can also do a ground mount system. If you don't have a good roof, or you have too many trees around your roof, you can do a ground mount system. And that way you can point it exactly south. You can have the best tilt. You can get the best performance out of the system. So you should consider that. Here's another roof. We try to really, really give you maximum power. We cover the roof completely. It looks really nice, and then you get maximum power out of it. And believe it or not, just in this area, there's a lot of solar. There's a lot of people in Killingworth and Haddam that already have solar, and some of them are here, and they can talk to you about their systems. Just a few more slides from that. So, and this is the customer who's on the energy task force. I don't know if he's here. Okay. And this last one, the family, they've never been on the roof. They're so scared to go on the roof, but because they had solar, they were super excited, and they just jumped on the roof. And I didn't trying to but okay, so under the Solarize package, what we're giving everybody is the best parts, the best monitoring system at the best price. And so what you're getting is, you're getting all black solar panels, you're getting microinverter technology, so panels make DC electricity, you need to convert it to AC. We're giving you something called microinverters, where there's going to be one microinverter behind every single panel, so that all the effects of shading or snow or cloudy weather don't bring down your system performance. Actually, you end up making 20% more than a typical inverter. And we give you another monitoring system that tells you what your house is doing. So now, if you know what your house is doing, you can control your energy better. So this is something special that we're giving you. We have a 12-year labor warranty. That means we come out for free to fix anything to 12 years. But more important, all of the parts that we picked have a 25-year warranty. So that means for 25 years, you really have no expenses. For example, if an inverter fails, the inverter company pays us to come out and fix it. So as a homeowner, you have no expenses for 25 years. There is also no sales tax on the system, and there's no increase in property tax if you install a solar system. There are state rebates, and then there's a federal 30% tax credit. So under Solarize, you have 3 discounts. You have an installer discount, you have a state rebate, and then you have 30% federal tax credit. So you can see that the cost will come down substantially. This is an example of the all-black panels, 250-watt panel, and then this is an example of the microinverter. So it's very simple. Everything, the panel and the inverter will go on the roof. Only thing will come down is the electric wire that connects to the main panel, and then you'll have a monitoring system that connects to your home internet connection. And that's it. It's very simple installation. This is what happens to a module or solar panel when you have shading. So under a typical central inverter, a big inverter system, everything is connected together like Christmas lights in series. So if one panel goes bad, or if one panel has shading, it takes out the entire row. If you have 10 panels connected, your 10 panels are underperforming. With a microinverter technology, you can have shading on one panel, and it doesn't affect the panel next to it. So this has kind of revolutionized the whole industry. It came out about 5 years ago. And this is the only way, it's the best way to design a system. People are still using central inverters, but I wouldn't recommend it at all. There's no point in using central inverters when you can use microinverters. This is what happens, is you get to see on your computer live what every single panel is doing. And if you come home, you can press the play button and you can watch what happened the entire day. You have a daily, weekly video. And when you have things like snow and clouds, every day the power might go up and down like this, and you can actually see it. If you had a chimney, you can see the shading from the chimney on your computer screen. If anything goes wrong, you get an email, we get an email right away. So if one panel failed, we would know about it within hours, and we can come and get it fixed. There's no way to know that the system is working or if something has failed if you have a central inverter. The microinverter is the only way to know something has failed. This is the other monitoring system that we give you. So you notice that the first dial is solar generation. The second dial is home energy use. It's called load. So whenever you have your lights on, or you have your refrigerators on, or whatever you have on, it's telling you live on your computer screen how much power you're drawing. So when we have an electric car and we plug it in to the charger is a 7 kilowatt charger, that dial jumps up to 7 kilowatts. So we actually can understand what we're doing in our home, and we can learn about how to reduce our energy. And the reports it gives you at the bottom, it's actually telling you how much solar got used in your home first, and how much solar is getting sold back to the utility company. This is the only way to match up your bill, to know if your bill is correct, because the utility company only cares about what went back through their meter out. They don't care how much solar you used in your home first. So this monitoring system matches everything up perfectly. So many, many diverse projects. We have ground mounts. We have people who wanted to build a shed or build a garage, roof mounts. So don't be scared to imagine any possibility. There's a customer who built a pergola so he can sit underneath it, and it's a real pergola, and he had solar panels on top of it. So it's important to look around your property. If your roof is not good, you can dream about doing something different. It doesn't have to be a typical solar system on your roof. And this is what like 120 people in the town look like, and we want to do more than that. So this is a 1 megawatt of solar. We want to, I'd love to do 2 megawatts here because we have 2 towns, right? So the idea is to make a change, make a positive change, help the environment. Everybody's going to save a lot of money when they do it. And so there are a lot of homeowners who've already signed up for solar systems, and in a second we'll bring them up and give them t-shirts that we have. But I'm going to call them in a second. I just want to go over the pricing with you. So under the Solarize program, there's 5 tiers of pricing, tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It drops, it becomes cheaper as you go, as more people sign up, the tier drops, price drops. So because a whole bunch of people have already signed up, we're actually in tier 3, and it'll just, pretty quickly drop and go to tier 5. So a typical solar system under tier 5 for a 7 kilowatt solar system, if you think of it as a generator, you buy a 7 kilowatt generator, you're buying a 7 kilowatt solar system, it's $24,000. The state will give you a rebate of $7,000. The rebate is a performance rebate based on if you face it south, you get more rebate. So this is assuming a south-facing roof. After the state rebate, you will also get a federal tax credit. When you do your tax return, you get 30% tax credit of what you paid. That's worth $5,000 in this example. And then the final system cost is $12,000. So this is important because the system was over $32,000 and you're getting it for $12,000 because of our discount, the state incentive, and the federal tax credit. You can also do 2 other ways to pay for it. You can take a loan, and the state has a great program called Smart E-Loan, which can go out to 12 years. And then you can also do a solar lease program. Solar lease program is a 20-year program where you don't pay anything up front, you're just paying a monthly payment. So in this example, a Smart E-Loan for 12 years would cost you $125 a month. So you wouldn't pay anything up front. You would just take all of these rebates, incentives, and then get a loan. It would be $125 a month for 12 years. And if you compare that to your electric bill, you're probably cheaper at $125. And then you own the system after your loan period is over, and you live free because solar systems will last over 30 years. If you take a lease, the lease payment would only be $85, but you don't own the system. So after year 20, you have a choice to either return the system, take it off for free, or you can buy it out at a fair market value. So as a homeowner, you have to think about, do you want to buy it with cash, do you want to lease it, or do you want to take a loan? And we have Eastern Savings Bank here. They want to talk for a few minutes about the Smart E-Loan. They're probably the more experts than I am about it. But feel free to come up and say a few words. I just have a few more slides, and this is an important one. So the federal government, Department of Energy, did a study. They looked at homes that sold with solar panels, and they tried to figure out why did this home sell for more. And what they found out, this is a report, you can look it up on Google. What they found out, for every 1 kilowatt, the home sold for $5,500 more. So in our example that we just gave, it was a 7 kilowatt system. The home should sell for $38,000 more. These are not assumptions, these are facts. They looked at homes that actually sold. And the reason is, when you have something that's making energy for 30 years, the present value of all that energy is worth $38,000 in this example. And that's exactly what happened to, we have two people who sold homes. Their homes sold within days, and they got more money for their home. So if everybody, this is an easy way to know how much energy you use. If you log into Connecticut Light and Power's website, there's a button that says email me your usage, and they give you a chart like this. And the chart shows a summary of how many kilowatt hours you used every month and how much you paid. And what we care about is, we care about how much energy you use in 12 months. In 1 year, how much energy you use, and we try to make a solar system that will make that much energy. So we don't care if it's cloudy today, or if it's a bad month in December. We know, and the calculators are all programmed to account for 40 years of weather data, and they're very accurate. The state uses that to give incentives. We know how much a solar system will make in 1 year in Connecticut. The basic process is you sign up with us for a site visit. We come to your house, we look at your house, and we give you a proposal. Most of the time on the spot. We go over the numbers with you. We go over your financing options. If you are ready to sign up, we do a contract, and then we do everything after that point. We apply for your state rebates, we apply for the permits, we apply with a utility company, and we install the system, turn everything on, set up the monitoring systems, and then you have a long warranty with us. So for the homeowner, the process is very simple. You just have to, when you look at our proposal, if the numbers look good to you, all you have to do is just sign up, and we will do everything after that point. So basically, we can go over questions, or the bank can talk about the Smart E-loan. Okay, I'll pass it down.
Normally, you'll get a proposal from BeFree Solar, and within 24 to 48 hours, you have your approval memo, and you can start the process. There's a little process with SEPIA looking at your project with them, and that's what they're saying. They take it and they take your proposal and submit all your rebates and everything for you. We do have a website. You can apply on the website. We have applications like that. We have John Mancini and Lisa Griffin and Shirley Maltoy with me here today, so we all can answer any questions you would have regarding the project. The rate for a 12-year is 6.99. There is a project that's coming up with SEPIA shortly, and that project, sorry, the project coming up from SEPIA is going to be a multiple measure, so if you have solar and installation and a couple other things, we're going to be able to offer you better financing for a 10-year term with a lower interest rate. That should be coming out in the next week, and we'll be able to provide you with that information. So you can do multiple measures, your heat, ductless split, you do the ductless heat pump, and then you can also do the solar panels at the same time. Have a 10-year loan at as low as 2.99% financing. So we do offer all those products. We also have other home equity products that you could use to finance your solar project. We are back at the table, so if you have any questions, feel free to come back there. We're here to help you.
So I just want to call upon the few people who have already signed up. If you're in the audience, please come up, and we're going to hand you some t-shirts. Anyone here who signed up?
I have one question.
So you're one of the first people to sign up. Very excited. You want to say?
I was one of the few who nabbed so please look into the solar plan, because friends of mine in Portland signed up for this program for the state. The cost was like $8,700 for 19 me he was saving $100 a month. They're an elderly couple, so we're not making all that much. We're very conservative with our problems. Anyway, by the way, that registered 12% interest. That's for, it was better than that, like for $10,000 investment, he was making that. So I decided that my 0.5% interest in my savings account would be better off on my roof. So I contacted Bill, and they looked at my house right away via their satellite and said, oh, it's not ideal. So I said, please come. And I called him again and I nagged him. And he came out and stood on my front deck and let me know that it was a fine site, and I had my roof done about 6 years ago. So I'm one of the lucky ones so far. And I said, you know what, I don't like my $2,000 plus oil bill. So what can we do about that? So he informed me about the heat pump, and I should have known about it because we have our home in Arizona, and we had a heat pump. I just turned that little thermostat to heat or cold, and turn it to what degree I wanted to turn on, and it's a fine system. So he's looking into that, and says it's going to be something like $3,600, maybe to $6,000. Anyway, I gave him my $1,000 very quickly.
Margaret?
I just wanted to clarify one thing about the tiered pricing. We're already at tier 3, and I have no doubt we're going to reach tier 5. But wherever we are on October 7th, everybody's going to get the benefit of that low price. So I predict probably by June, these guys will be in tier 5. So you don't have to be shy about being early adopters, because everybody will get the benefits of the low price. So now we'd like to open it up briefly for some Q&A. And we will cut it off at a certain time, but you'll be encouraged to talk to the good people at BeFree directly afterwards with additional questions. So I'll turn the mic over to you guys.
And you go ahead, right here.
I've looked into solar before, and a couple of issues arose, and I wonder if you have any advice on how to proceed with this. One is that my roof is 21 years old and probably going to last more than 5 more years. So do you have any advice about getting your roof updated before installing, or how that would work? And secondly, there are trees that would be better out of the way. I mean, do you have any arrangements with tree cutters to make a cheaper approach to cutting trees?
Yeah, so one of our goals as a company is to make this as easy as possible. So we've actually, we roof people's roofs, we've cut trees. The point is that you work with one person and one company to get everything done. And the industry says if your roof is 15 years or older, you should probably get it reshingled. So this is a call that you can have a roofer check, because if if someone checks and your roof is still, it's not cracking or shingles are not breaking off, then the solar system actually protects the roof. It's like 2 inches of airflow underneath it, and because the sun is not beating down on the roof and snow is not there and rain, it is actually prolonging the life of your shingle. So if it's 15 years or older, you have to make a call. You should always get it checked by a roofer, but then you have to decide, because once the solar panels are on, it's probably going to be there for over 30 years.
Just to follow up on that, is it preferred, or is there just between asphalt shingles and a metal roof before that installation happens?
Well, a metal roof, we can do metal roofs, and they're very easy. You probably don't have to ever change a metal roof, right?
But installation of solar panels on a metal roof versus asphalt shingles for your installation?
We can do it, yeah. It's on a metal roof, we don't even make any penetrations, we're just kind of connecting to the seams. So we're not.
Okay, so you're not puncturing.
That's right.
Hi. Hi, Harsh.
I'm Lima Bryan. Harsh came to my house. It was a wonderful experience. I have a price book. But I also have a question. One of the slides that you passed over very quickly said, the town may waive the permit fees. I believe that actually the people in Durham petitioned the town, as I suppose people here would for Haddam and for Killingworth, to abolish the permit fees to do the job. So I just bring that up as something to think about, because that's a cost.
Yeah, that's right.
But I encourage everyone to do this. Right here.
We like that idea too.
Just tell us the dimensions of the panel.
Sure. Panel, we have here. It's 5 feet by 3 feet. Yes, 3 feet.
What's the durability of the panels? I'm thinking in terms of removing snow.
So the panels are designed to be out there for over 30 years. They're made out of aluminum with tempered glass. You can I've actually walked on a panel before. So what happens in snow time, we recommend a long painter's pole that can get out to 20 feet, and we put a squeegee front on the front and pull off the snow. And it's very easy to do. So on roofs that have more than 30-degree pitch, the snow will come up on its own within 1 or 2 days. But on like a raised ranch where there's only like a 20-something degree pitch, you should just pull off the snow the day it snows.
My understanding is that CLMP only reimburses you for the generation value, which is something like 4 cents a kilowatt hour. And now they have a proposal with Pura to charge you 7 cents a kilowatt hour for the use of their lines when you back to the non-rent. So you're going to lose 3 cents a kilowatt hour. And then they'll take the same power and sell it to your neighbor for 18 cents a kilowatt hour.
So can I just say,
My question is it possible to set this up so that it functions without giving it back to CLMP?
okay, so under net metering laws, the utility company is required to buy your energy. And a kilowatt hour, if you look at your electric bill, kilowatt hour is made up of generation plus distribution, right? So you look at the whole kilowatt hour. And the utility company is just trading kilowatt hours. So on a month-to-month basis, you give them some kilowatt hours, they give you some kilowatt, it's worth the market price. Only after 1 year, because of net metering, only after 1 year do they clean out your credits that you've built up. And that's when they pay you the wholesale rate of generation. So I don't think net metering laws are going to change. Well, there would be a big uproar. But right now, the way it works is you get full credit for your energy, which is worth about 18 cents.
Unless you overproduce and then you only can sell the.
My question still is, can it be set up so that it doesn't backfeed into CLMP?
Yeah, that's called the battery backup system. And what that means is you live off grid. And so every day your solar panels are powering batteries, you're drawing power off of the batteries, and you're not connected to the grid. You can do that if you want to.
Sure.